J.K. Slade was a child trafficker. Human trafficking is a crime against the person because of the violation of the victim's right of movement through coercion and because of their commercial exploitation. Human trafficking is the trade in people, especially women and children, and does not necessarily involve movement of the person from one place to another. Okay.
Y'all could call me a rat, but let's make something clear. If I was a rat, Bam and Ahmed would already be in jail, and they know that.
Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine's Google Hangout. In tonight's show, it's the first show in our series, and the title of it is Murder Doctrine Uncovers Hidden Facts That Will Blow Your Mind. So we're here to blow your mind, people. Without any hesitation, we're going to get right into the show. We're going to get right into the show. Boom. There go the show, people. Now I'm going to have the computer read, and then I'm going to do some commentary. So.
Murder Doctrine Episode 1 Tupac Shakur Illuminati Edition. Welcome to Episode 1 of Israel Doctrine Entertainment, LLC's new hip-hop series titled Murder Doctrine. For the new listeners and some of the longtime subscribers to the channel, it is important that you all be given a brief background on the inspiration for this series, which Episode 1 will discuss the most influential hip-hop artist to the Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC brand and to many hip-hoppers, none other than Tupac Shakur.
So as y'all know, I'm a big Tupac fan. And for us, Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC, the best rapper I've ever known. I've been listening to this guy ever since Tupacalypse Now back in 91. I remember going to the liquor store, buying a $5 cassette. It was bootleg of Tupac Shakur. Trap was the first song I heard because a brother in town by the name of Boogie used to sing it, but we're going to keep going.
Disclaimer: the Murder Doctrine series is not to glorify murder on any level, but instead to show how murder, not to be confused with what the Bible teaches us all, is a righteous kill, has plagued the hip-hop industry since its inception.
So, disclaimer put up. I got to put a disclaimer up because anything I say is misconstrued. It's turned against me. It's a lie made up against me. I can say I feel good today. They'll say he want to kill himself. He want to do self-infliction and blah, blah, blah. This is what they do out here on YouTube. The informers, the counterintelligent, the COINTELPRO people. And if y'all know who I'm talking about, and those that listen enough know who I'm talking about. We'll deal with it though.
Murder Doctrine will be explaining the many interwoven subjects that align the untimely deaths of so many of the influencers in hip-hop, as well as pose as a time capsule in the current for future look-backs into the state of what we all know to be hip-hop.
So, we got to look into this stuff, people. We got to look into this. We got to look into this stuff. Yeah. We got to look into this stuff. Let's get it back on the screen. Let's get it back on the screen. So,
The Murder Doctrine series will not be to slander any individuals mentioned, but will from time to time be reflective of what the church I founded terms hip-hop, which we created an acronym for, which is Hear Israel People Half Open Prophecies.
No slander. Not like they slandering me, but we're not going to try to get into my personal little YouTube beefs and stuff with the government and those that work for the government. Under Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and all of them.
In light of prophecy, I find it interesting that the day after we announced the coming of this series and our other series, the 5K1 series, that a political assassination occurred in Utah against conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
I don't see it as no coincidence. As soon as I announced it, I seen the actions of those that are afraid of me and what I might say and what I might do, because they don't know what I might say and what I might do. They like that nigga is unstable.
We find that political assassinations and assassination attempts has been a recurring theme in American politics since the attempted assassination last year in 2024 of the now 47th President Donald J. Trump while he gave a speech in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a political act that they do, and I am a political person. Apolitical. I'm apolitical. If you didn't know.
Episode 1 of Murder Doctrine speaks about Tupac Amaru Shakur, born Lassane Parish, Crooks, June 16, 1971, September 13, 1996, also known by his stage names Tupac and Machiavelli.
Same birthday as my second nephew, who was hit by a car and in the ground now, passed away. But every time I hear about that September the 13th, I think about my nephew.
Tupac, as many know, was an American rapper and actor. He is regarded as one of the greatest rappers of all time, one of the most influential musical artists of the 20th century, and a prominent political activist for Black America.
That's the key to it. He was a political activist. After he died, who took up his political mantle and everything? Sean Puffy Combs. He started messing with politics and voter die and all that type of stuff. And when you're dealing with politics, they will try to take you out. But don't forget, I'm apolitical.
Tupac, following his murder and untimely death on September 13, 1996, has been an urban legend as a hip-hop artist. Tupac is someone who would turn to political activism early in his career, born in New York City, being the son of two Black Panthers, and raised by his mother, Afeni Shakur. Tupac later relocated with his mother to the San Francisco Bay Area in 1988. His debut album Tupacalypse Now, 1991, cemented him as a central figure in West Coast hip-hop for his political rap lyrics. Alongside his solo career, Shakur formed the group Thug Life and collaborated with artists like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and The Outlaws.
Let's not forget Baltimore now before he made it to Marine City. Jada Pinkett Smith, all of those things.
Tupac, who was signed to the California-based Death Row Records at the time under its founder and CEO Marion Hugh Suge Knight Jr., also was infamous for claiming Peru Bloods,
which is arguable because you got Harry O. But for as hip hop history go, some will say it's Suge Knight, or what did it say on the back of Machiavelli? Simon, right? But we ain't gonna get into all that. We ain't gonna get into all that.
It should be noted that our sister series, which will be launching to complement the series titled 5K1 series, will show how my platform has graced the presence of the digital pit boss, who is the big homie to the little homie of Suge Knight, the now well-known hip-hop manager Whack 100.
So if you didn't know, Digital Pit Boss, who used to be on this channel with me, is the big homie to Whack 100, who used to be on the Suge Knight and Death Row Records and everything. And I could start some mess and talk about how Pop was doing what he was doing and why, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Tupac's influence was so widespread and his murder so devastating to the hip-hop culture that, akin to Elvis Presley, many have claimed to have sighted Tupac still alive after his death.
Which I believe Pop is still alive. Never seen him, but I believe he's still alive. I believe he's still alive. I always believed that he was still alive. Even when I was cutting my head and screaming Tupac and fighting and defending them.
Many theories of his death have been ongoing in the current, as an individual Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was recently charged with Tupac Shakur's murder.
And y'all know I'm a Davis. Carl Albert Davis is my government name.
Due to the influence Tupac had on Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC, he inspired me to make my own version of his now infamous thug life, which I have placed on many videos online, and with my terming it the hate you give little Israel fucks everybody.
Which the government informant said he didn't like that. But as being a little Israelite and receiving all the hate that I received, people say, well, he crazy now, he talking murder and everything. Now, I'm a man that believes in peace with everybody. That's the Bible say. You got to remember, first, I'm a Bible person. I follow the tenets of the Bible as they're written in the Bible. Live in peace with all men. But the Bible also said there's a time and season for everything. There's a time to hug, embrace, do all of that. But there's also a time to kill. A time to kill. If you ever seen the movie, there's a time to kill. And when it talks about that time, it talks about a righteous killing. Because if a man do some harm to your child, whether if it's a boy or girl, in which we know men do things to children, boys and girls, that's a time to kill. That's the time to take a life. You do wrong by allowing them to keep breathing where they can do it again. And the Lord even tell you, take them off the earth. You want to stop sin? Which you can stop sin. Go kill them. There's a time to kill. And I know in my heart's heart when it's a time to have peace and when it's a time to kill. And I ain't begging nobody for peace. I'm like Medea. I'm going to do what my eldest brother told me. If you're afraid, go buy some courage and stand like a man when you got courage in your hand. I don't believe in killing, but people do sign their own death certificate. And as I stated before and will state again on this live, I want to take somebody out before I leave this earth. And somebody going to ask for it. And I'm going to give it to them righteously. And then I'm going to go before the judge and say, well, he did this and he did that. That's why he did. Put me in jail or whatever you think your job is, because the Lord God of Israel make the judge. And he put in their heart what they should and shouldn't do.
Tupac, like many other political assassinations in America, seems to be an ongoing unsolved murder and a mystery as to who actually conspired with Dwayne Davis to murder him.
Who conspired with him, people?
Many have theories as to what sparked the now infamous East Coast and West Coast beef that led to the death of Tupac, as well as New York Bad Boy Records artist Christopher Wallace, known as the Notorious B.I.G., but I would like to insert a few excerpts from a recent article posted by the USA Today titled "Man Charged in Tupac Shakur's Death Claims Sean Diddy Combs Put Out $1 Million Hit on September 7th, 2025. If the viewers would like to read the article in full, I will place
it in the bottom of this video.
If the viewers would like to read the article in full, I will place the link to it in below this video, or you all can search by title and find it online for your own reading. Just to give a brief summary of the article for this episode, the article is summarized as follows. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, charged with Tupac Shakur's murder, alleged Sean Diddy Combs offered a $1 million bounty for Shakur in Suge Knight. Recent civil lawsuits against Combs include new allegations of his involvement in Shakur's 1996 murder, which he has repeatedly denied. Davis, the only person charged in the killing, is awaiting trial and is the only living person from the car involved in the drive-by shooting.
The only living person, meaning the other people or suspects are dead.
It is important that we analyze the allegations that the murder of Tupac was a conspiracy carried out by numerous factions, as court records have reflected informants claiming that the now infamous Sean P. Diddy Combs was potentially involved with the murder of Shakur, as expressed in civil court filings. I want to clearly express that at this time, the government has not officially charged Sean Combs as a co-conspirator, but the allegations have been made in police reports and civil court documents, as I expressed and is outlined in the article. Everyone who is aware of the beef between Sean Combs, artist Christopher Wallace of Bad Boy Entertainment, and Tupac Shakur of Death Row Records is aware that an ongoing feud was on public display prior to Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace's death between Bad Boy and Death Row.
We all know that. East Coast, West Coast. East Coast killer, West Coast killer.
Many have made accusations that members of the LAPD, local gangs, and the music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was all involved with the death of Tupac Shakur, and that the build-up to Tupac's murder was a result to a now infamous shooting of Shakur at New York City Quad Studios prior to his actual murder in Las Vegas.
Yes, that Quad City thing, though, it's going to be part 2 of our show, or part 1 of the 5K1.
Now I want to make a connection for the audience of allegations that many may not be aware of that has been related to the actual build-up to the shooting at Quad Studios, and what will be relevant to our next episode of Murder Doctrine, which will be Murder Doctrine Part 2, The Death of T.C. Islam.
The death of T.C. Islam. Why you bringing that up, Carl? Oh, T.C. Islam was in my paperwork. My slanderous paperwork that Khalil Money keeps saying he was stalking that woman. And in that paperwork, it don't say nothing about stalking. It's saying, I want all the information on T.C. Islam and what this guy has been researching, which is going to come up in part 2.
It is important to give a little background to why our next episode will be about the murder of T.C. Islam and how there is a potential connection to the Quad Studios shooting of Tupac as alleged by members of the Universal Zulu Nation, which is also tied to an interview Tupac Shakur did with the also now deceased T.C. Islam. As many of you all who have watched the Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC YouTube channel over the years may know, This platform started a movement in 2017 using infoactivism to find the whereabouts of what was reported to be a young Spanish or Latino teenage boy to stab Africa Bambataha and his manager Ahmed Henderson of the Universal Zulu Nation in a New York apartment in 2013. The allegations of the stabbing of Africa Bambataha and Ahmed Henderson was after what reports alleged to have been a statutory sexual assault done on what was said to be a young teen by Africa Bambataha. The reports of the young teen's sexual assault at the time were first reported by the Colorado-based author, hip-hop journalist, and nationally known federal witness protection informant Khalil Amani.
The guy that's still stalking me to this day. His website is down, but he used to have so many articles about me. Everything in that man's life revolves around me. Because I believe he believed me to be a black messiah. If you ask me, I think that's his problem. He think I'm a black messiah and that I'm a radical, crazy guy that would do some stuff and everything. He think I'm Yahweh ben Yahweh because he having flashbacks. But let's keep going on with the article and the conversation, which keeps my head on a proper swivel.
Khalil Amani was informed of the stabbing and the alleged statutory sexual assault of the teenage boy by what Khalil Amani called his hip-hop boss at the time, the now-deceased New York DJ K-Slay, as Khalil Amani was a writer for DJ K-Slay's Straight Stuntin' magazine in the year 2013.
And if you didn't know that beginning of this show, when you hear DJ K was a child trafficker, and then he read what a trafficker was, that's Khalil Amani voice. Because Khalil Amani is the one that said DJ K Slate was a child trafficker. Carl Albert Davis didn't say it. He say, well, ain't no audio or whatever. There go the audio right there in the front of the thing. Stop lying, Khalil.
DJ K-Slay, who was a former member of the New York City Black Spades and Universal Zulu Nation at the time of 2013, was an insider who was alerted to the incident and decided to inform his writer Khalil Amani to publish an article at his behest titled, Africa Bambataha Gay and Date Raping?
Why? Because right after the boy stabbed Bambata, DJ K Slay knew. How did he know? Because the young man may have called. Now, I can't prove none of this. These are all allegations from my research. But if somebody feel froggish and want to jump out and put a lawsuit up against me, never scared, never afraid. Never ask Layla Wheels if I'm afraid.
After allegations of the sex trafficking of a minor in the stabbing incident was dismissed by Universal Zulu Nation as rumors following the article, other victims began to emerge against Africa Bambataha, and many are aware of Ronald B. Stinger, Savage, and Hassan Poppy Campbell, who alleged similar sexual misconduct against Africa Bambataha in 2016. Ronald B. Stinger, Savage, and Hassan Poppy Campbell, both following coming out against Africa Bambataha, spoke of being aware of the stabbing of him and his manager Ahmed Henderson in an article of Canada-based Noisy Vice magazine and published by journalist Dave Wedge,
who also wrote about Khalil Amani, which is the safe space for me to say things took place in 2013, though Layla Wheels, Troy Star Terrain, and others on the line said it started taking place in 2016 when they introduced Ron Savage and her son Campbell. It was only to take the attention off the boy, whom K. Slay had the article written so he can control the narrative, a word that was introduced to the whole conversation by me, the narrative, because I'm a narrative-based company. The narrative So it wouldn't be no narrative about the boy. But I've been talking about the boy ever since day one.
Ronald B. Stinger, Savage, and Hassan, Poppy Campbell, has done interviews on this platform and other of our affiliate channels, one of which was wrongfully terminated after being false flagged for copyright infringement by Chicago-based journalist Layla Wills, Khalil Amani, and the now deceased DJ K. Slay.
And that's why they took that channel. That's why I'm not afraid to go to court, because when we go to court, all I'm going to ask for is discovery, which we're going to get that Israel Doctrine Reloaded information and other stuff. So y'all can say whatever y'all got to say about me now and try to do stuff now. I reported y'all and the things that y'all was doing before y'all did them. So everything you doing is keeping the RICO open. Layla Wills, Khalil already told you, the son putting you in a RICO. He's putting you in a RICO. You won't even ask him to stop doing what he's doing because you think it's cute because you sent him out of here to do it. But when we go to court and y'all lose, it's going to be hell to tell the judge. But I know y'all want my life before we go to court.
After doing the interview with this platform on its former sister channel Israel Doctrine Reloaded in 2017, Hassan, Poppy Campbell, would later allege during an interview on the Queen's Flip channel episode 29 that following the stabbing incident he was given a photo of the teenage Latino or Spanish boy who stabbed Afrika Bambaataa and Ahmed Henderson by Afrika Bambaataa to murder on behalf of Universal Zulu Nation Security Arm Zulu Warrior Security.
And that's just it. None of this
After
is
Ben got out of the hospital to figure out what really happened, and he gave me the picture of a light-skinned Puerto Rican little boy that looked just like me as a kid. And he gave me that picture because I was going to be the one who killed that boy for Afrika Bambaataa.
No, Slender. He said it. You just heard him say it. But yet, everybody coming against me and want my life. Hey, look. I didn't tell on Bam. I didn't do none of this stuff that her son did. That's who y'all should be going and get. I should wake up one morning and hear about him like I heard about DJ K. Slay. But y'all afraid of her son.
Israel Doctrine Entertainment's movement, which was based on the question of what happened to that boy and ode to the clip song, is now over 8 going on 9 years old, and still no justice has been brought against Afrika Bambaataa short of what is reported to be a default civil judgment brought by a John Doe victim against him in the New York Supreme Court in the county of the Bronx earlier this year.
So they ain't did nothing about Bambaataa. They did nothing about her son. Ron Savage has been attacked, taken to court and everything, but them two individuals, the one that gave the picture, the one that took the picture, ain't nothing been done. And everybody, they mama know about it. Layla Wills know about it. Marcy Hamilton know about it. Dave West know about it. Troy Star Terrain know about it. All these people know about it. They don't give a F about that boy. But I'm trying to live at peace with them. But they got their little government agent Khalil Amani out here steady effing with me. That's why I said no matter what I can say I'm having a good day and stuff. He'll be talking about I'm in the house trying to kill myself and murder myself because he tried to turn my words against me.
Now back to the star of this episode, Tupac Shakur, and the Universal Zulu Nation connection alleged to having been the build-up to the shooting of Shakur at Quad Studios. I would like the viewers to use their search engine on YouTube and type Born Love to God shows how Zulu Nation TC Islam interview with Tupac Shakur leads to Tupac robbery. The channel that released the video I just gave the title to is The Immortal Thought.
Remember, the link will be up under the video.
I want to stress the importance of what I will be discussing here to provide this episode to episode 2 of Murder Doctrine, as it will speak on the murder of TC Islam. It is alleged by Born Love to God, an affiliate of Universal Zulu Nation, that what actually began the events that spiraled towards the shooting of Tupac was an interview done with the also now deceased TC Islam with Shakur, where it was alleged that Shakur was asked which coast had the best producers, and that the answer given by Tupac caused a financial rift in the hip-hop world of production and beat-making when Tupac said hands down the West Coast producers made better hip-hop beats than the East Coast.
Why you think All Eyes on Me did numbers like they did? If you most of y'all probably know, some of them beats was used by East Coast artists. Tupac took the beats, rapped on the beats, sold more records than them.
Some may ask why I decided to pry Tupac to the allegations of the beef between him and his label Death Row at the time and Bad Boy and TC Islam. It has always been my opinion that the factions who Tupac was at odds with involved not only members of the Universal Zulu Nation, but also with the now infamous Dr. Malachi Z. York's New Wapians.
The New Wapians. I always knew the New Wapians. Jacob York, Little Kim Manners. Not the son of Malachi Z. York, though he claimed to be the son. He is an informant against Malachi Z. York. 30 people in the industry, y'all. In Denver, Colorado, is 30 people all over.
Tupac was not only beefing with Bad Boy Records, as he prior to his death was going against what is now known as the LGBTQIA+ community. It is no secret that Tupac alleged to have had sexual advances made towards him by the world-famous producer and composer Quincy Jones. The allegations made against Jones by Shakur came after Tupac was dating Jones' daughter at a time where he alleges that Quincy Jones was gay, but also that he made sexual advances against Tupac.
Yes, the LGBTQIA+ community, as I said back in 2018, has manifested itself to be exactly what I said it was going to be. What Khalil Money, Layla Wheels, Troy Star Terrain, Marcy Hamilton, and them was making the LGBTQ community with the pedo community.
All of these topics surrounding the murder of Tupac Shakur are important for the audience and future generations to be aware of, as it all leads back to the same players in hip-hop and involve not only racketeering but also the sex trafficking and setups using strategic lawsuits against public participation used to silence individuals.
That's what I was hit with by Layla Wheels.
A strategic lawsuit against public participation can be defined as an individual having false or trumped-up charges placed on them to silence them in their public influence. Another term that is used similar in the modern world of politics is lawfare, akin the term warfare.
So as you can see, this thing is very deep, people. But as Kev Gilden once said, he got the Vatican City information up under his house and everything. This the Vatican over here, baby. I got all the information. I keep documentation.
Tupac, who was charged with sexual assault and bailed out by Suge Knight prior to his signing to Death Row Records, always maintained that he was innocent, but that he was set up as it related to his sexual assault conviction. Whether or not Tupac was murdered for street beef or more deeper for wearing against the powers in entertainment and hip-hop, one thing is for certain is that the West Coast connection to the Universal Zulu Nation and its ties to various gang sets in California is not a conspiracy, as hip-hop artist Ice Cube and Ice-T were honored as members of the Zulu Nation. DC Islam, much like Tupac Shakur when he was murdered, was alleged to be wearing with the Universal Zulu Nation for his knowledge of Afrika Bambaataa and the nation's sex trafficking of minors and adults.
Minus and adults. Because like DJ Mark Love said, they was pimping the Zulu women. Trafficking people for sex was something that the Zulus was and probably still doing, because we don't know. It's quiet on the Zulu set.
The sex trafficking allegations was confirmed by the West Coast arm of Zulu Nation's World Council DJ Mark Love in an interview following the allegations against Afrika Bambaataa by Ronald Savage and Hassan Poppy Campbell.
How do I know all this stuff? People, I searched all this stuff. I had a stroke, but I keep records of everything. Yet, one thing that never left my head was the people that I'm going to war with, because they tried to take my life away, which is no small thing. You never forget people that tried to take your life away and was threatening me after that, coming to my shows, talking about we're going to kill you. You seen the other day, the brother said he was outside waiting and he was going to come in here and cut my show off and all that. That nigga was threatening my life. You think I'm going to sit back and let some stupid, ignorant person kill me? I'd rather kill them first. I don't give a damn what you say, the judge say, or anybody say. I have a right to defend myself. And if you come fuck with me, watch me defend myself.
Tupac Shakur, whether his death was carried out by one man or by a gang of co-conspirators, remains a mystery, but as court cases continue to bring more clarity to his untimely death, it is my belief that the 6 degrees of separation to Shakur's murder and the individuals involved in the shooting that happened at Quad and the lead up to the night Tupac was murdered in Las Vegas is no coincidence.
Yeah, it's called hip-hop counterintelligence, COINTELPRO, and all of that. It's what Shabir Bey and all of them Negroes up there in New York, the Council of Nicaea, all that stuff. See, it ain't just political, it's religious too. Why you think Malachi Z. York is the father of all this stuff?
In our next episode, we will dive into the murder of YC Islam of Universal Zulu Nation and how all of these hip-hop murders can be interwoven to show the youth that we have failed in our generation to complete the social and political justice needed to free a lost people from the bondage of oppression, much of which Tupac Shakur lost his life fighting against.
Now, Khalil, you want to talk about the Chris York thing? Bring your ass over. We can talk about it, but you're not a man. You's a bitch ass nigga that's running. And everybody that listen to this show hear me calling you a bitch ass nigga that's running. I ain't gotta threaten your life or nothing like that and all that. Nigga, you running. You trying to stay the fuck away from me, and you best stay the fuck away from me.
You have now all entered the power of YouTube street knowledge in this Murder Doctrine Episode 1, The Life and Times of Tupac Shakur. In light of Shakur's Killuminati movement, we here believe that we need to continue to kill all the false illumination in hip-hop and leave something better for the youth of the future who will follow behind us.
Yeah, if you ain't trying to do that, you just running up behind my ass trying to end my life, then don't be surprised when yours get taken, even if I have to go first.
When watching this series, the audience will always know what a fact is or what can be proven by the public record. The series will also pose questions from time to time that help the audience use critical thinking during each of the episodes.
Yes, people, we're about that. We're about the next generation and those that's following up behind us. We want to leave something for the youth.
The views or opinions that have been expressed here in this series will be reflective of the narrator, which is myself, Carl Albert Davis, as founder and CEO of Israel Doctrine Entertainment, LLC. As the narrator, my views are not to be construed to be anything less than my opinions based on research. For clarification, my personal views and opinions will not always be a direct reflection of the views of the church I created or of our entertainment arm Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC, but instead will be to inform and give criticism to the vicious cycle of murder that has plagued the Black, white, Latino, and Asian communities of North America and abroad.
Nigga don't stand for something, he'll fall for anything. And I ain't never felt for no anything. That's why I ain't no Hebrew Israelite.
The Murder Doctrine series is to give you all the viewers a unique perspective from a place that many other content creators cannot on YouTube, as we will look at things from Bible-based entertainment company perspective, which is centered on Israelite nationalism as taught from the King James Version.
Israelite nationalism. Gotta lead the children something. That's why anybody get mad at me teaching that we're Israel and I'm beating a dead horse, you's an ignorant ass fool that need to shut your fucking mouth.
Israel Doctrine on YouTube is a grandfather channel online now, having been on YouTube for going on 17 years since established in 2008. Israel Doctrine Entertainment has interacted with many of the bigger social influencers online and has produced countless interviews with hip-hop artists ranging from known battle rap artists as well as legendary hip-hop artists like Positive K and California battle rap artists like B. to name a few.
I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Forgive someone on a commentary. I'm an emotional person.
Israel Doctrine Entertainment LLC Murder Doctrine series speaks from a vantage point which is parallel to none in the YouTube streets, as I term myself the YouTube street king based on how my platform popularized the term YouTube streets, which has went viral over the years, and my sheer history online, which includes interaction with the online conscious community.
Yes, I'm king.
If you all like this content, hit the like button, share this video, hit the notification for alerts, become a member, and get ready for the release of Murder Doctrine Episode 2, which discusses the death of TC Islam of the Universal Zulu Nation.
Most definitely. And how my name done been brought up in it, but I'm never supposed to be a part. You're not a part of the Africa Bambaataa thing. You're not a part of this. You're not a part of that. I went to court and TC Islam was in my paperwork. How I'm not a part of it. You don't want me to be a part of it, but Lady Wills made me a part of it. You got a problem with it, go see her. And if she got a problem with me saying her name or whatever, she can come see me. But it is what it is. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show.